Oh, hello, welcome to the fifth Flare on 2019 challenge solution. Uh, I was supposed to start with showing the challenge on the web page, but actually it's down. I don't know if it's permanent, so we'll start from the files. So in the fifth challenge, we are getting two files. One is standard message, which says someone on the Flare team tried to impress us with their demo scene skills. It seems blank. See if you can figure it out, or maybe we will have to fire them. No pressure. And we get some exe file. So actually what I did in this challenge, I ran it in the virtual machine. I have it here. So let's see what actually we're getting if we run this application. And it looks like we have some 3D animation with the Flare logo. And it seems like that's all. It actually was really not very responsive slash crashing in the virtual machine, but nonetheless, okay, we get the idea. It's like 3D animated thing. So let's maybe see what we can get from that and how we can get the flag. So actually the next step was to actually run it in some kind of debugger. And if we actually open it, I have already Mugatu, so some next levels. So if we open it, it actually is compressed. So we'll not find the code that actually shows the 3D animation. The first step is this code is actually decompressing stuff. So that was the first challenge to analyze. Well, actually we don't need to analyze the compression. We can figure out that this is the address of the compressed data. So 400144 and 420000 will be the address where the data will be actually decoded. So what we can do, we can just follow this in dump. So this will get the data, and actually we can put a breakpoint here. So let's put a breakpoint or memory access. Let's call execute single shot, and actually now we'll just continue. And in a moment we should get actually a hit on this address, and then all the decoding stuff will be done, because actually we don't need to analyze it. We just want to have the code decoded and actually started execution. So this is how I approach this. I didn't analyze this code, I just let it run for a while. And yeah, just waited a bit for the breakpoint to hit. What actually happened now? I got some. Yeah, so now I get the code decoded, and it's more. It looks now more as how it's supposed to be looking. So we have some stuff that prepares some information. And if we analyze it more, we'll see there should be some like main loop somewhere here. Let's just see. Okay, so this is like creating a window. If we like break here, this will be create window XA. There will be some get windows rectangle and stuff like that. And somewhere here, set windows, it will be centered. Here I think we have like a main loop, so somewhere before that we can try to break. So this and this will prepare the data. So if we go into those, we have some pushes of something, addresses, maybe there are some values. Yeah, and there will be some calls to the DirectX, like create mesh, some 3-letter acronym, and more code like that from DirectX library. So actually we can see that, okay, here we are preparing the vertex and like planes for this 3D stuff, and it's actually, we can see it's some kind of like loading the data, XORing with some other values, and yeah, moving into other place. So it's actually it is being the data is being prepared, and if we analyze those function, we will see that it's actually happening twice. So there's like a one object on this scene that we are seeing, and the next one, and the next one was having more vertices and more lines and triangles. So we could assume that there is something more complex on this scene that's being rendered, but we just don't see it, and it's either like moved in some other place or somehow cut from the 3D scene. And I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know how to approach it. Now when I read some of the solutions, actually there is a tool that can extract those information from the process. I didn't know that, so I did well, I think pretty cool approach, but maybe it was also a bit too much. So I analyzed the code. I actually I think I created some kind of more or less how it's supposed to be coded. So I tried to write some C++ code based on the disassembly, but as you can see, I didn't finish it, because like if I knew this is how it's done, I have another idea. So actually I dumped the inputs. So basically I dumped the vertex coordinates and connection between them into binary files. So I have like some maybe that's not the best how to see it. So I dump those values into a files. I'm not sure if this one is, I basically dump both of them, and then I wrote a small Python script. Let me open the Python script that actually converted that into some text form. Let me just open some Sublime. I think I already have it open somewhere, that's why it doesn't want to open. So let me just open folder. Okay, let's see, where do we have that? It's Flare on 2019 day challenges and day 5, challenge 5. Okay, let's just open this folder. Okay, so we have it here, and where's the Python script? So here's the Python script. So actually it read from mesh to vertices and mesh to indices beans files. I created the output 3 text file and just converted those like binary data into some textual form, which is here. So actually I have like vertex and then coordinates, and then somewhere further we should have similar for indices, and yeah, the numbers of the connections between those vertex entries. And so what I did from that, actually I used Blender. So I didn't know how to render it. I mean, probably I could write some program to render it, but I thought, okay, why to write a full program? I'll just use something that's available. And actually Blender has some scripting capabilities. So I thought, yeah, I will just use the scripting capabilities in Blender, and actually will, yeah, draw this stuff that I have in this output 3 file. And for that purpose, I wrote another script, Python script, so import Blender. Of course, I use some kind of online, I search online how to actually import stuff into Blender. And actually there is this module BPY that you can use for importing into a Blender. So what we are doing here, we are like opening the file, then there's like a simple 2 Boolean values, whether we are still on vertices or indices, and we have 2 arrays, and yeah, we just read line by line, and if it says vertex, okay, we'll just continue. If it says indices, we'll switch what we'll be doing and then still continue. Then for each line we split by a comma. Then if it's vertex, we'll like convert it to X, Y, and Z coordinates with a scale, and we'll create a vertex. I have this scale because maybe I will have to like multiply those X, Y, and Z coordinate by some number. So that was like actually good thing to do. And then I appended to this array the new vertex. And then if we are in the other part of the file, we'll just create faces. Like, so basically it will be like a triangle we'll create. And then we use this BPI module to create some mesh. There is like a from pi data function that takes verts and faces, and I'm not sure what's this one, but there's like a third parameter you can pass. You just call an update, which will, I guess, take all those data and crunch it probably in some kind of internal structure. And then we create an object, and we get the scene from like this BPI context module, and we just link scene with this object that we create. And actually that's all. So that's everything is needed to import coordinates and connection between those vertices into a Blender. And yeah, it wasn't very easy. I had to look into some information how it can be done in Blender, but let's see if it will work. So we'll just run the script now, and no, yeah, it didn't work, so it failed. And apparently, yes, I changed the path. So actually it should be now, the path should be different because it is Flare-on 2019 challenges, but it's 05 demo. I think that's the path, but let me check before I actually call again. Flare-on 2019, we have challenges, and we have 05 demo, and we have files here. We have output 3 on that level. Okay, so it's 5. Okay, so that should be okay now, but it's still complaining. Okay, maybe let's do like this. I'll just copy. Okay, I'm missing still the CTF. I move stuff around. Yeah, okay, but actually output is not this mesh, so it's actually this flare logo that we have here. Okay, that's not the correct, so it should be output 3. And yeah, so we run the script, and something came out from those data, and it says more poetry at flare-on.com. So that's the flag for the 5th level, which was called demo, which was this 3D nice animation. So yeah, maybe it's not the easiest solution. When I read that there is like a tool to extract this data directly, that was like, oh my god, it was so simple. But anyway, I'm pretty happy that I managed to do it. Anyway, it required a little bit of more work than it's supposed to be. But yeah, in the end, we have a flag, and we then could proceed to the next flare or challenge. So yeah, that was fun. So I hope this small explanation was useful. So I guess we can get from that yeah, Blender can be scripted, and we can use that if we ever need to script some importing of 3D stuff into it. And I hope you liked the video. If so, then please give a like and subscribe, and see you next time on the 6th challenge from Flare-on 2019. Bye.